Hello and welcome to our blood typing lab, and what we're going to do is walk you through what you would have done in the lab. And what you see before you are the basic pieces of equipment that we would be using: toothpicks, 4 different sample patients of blood, agglutinins or your antibodies that would be reacting with the various antigens of the blood, as well as your spot trays. This is where your test would be happening and occurring as we go through uh, the lab today. And so what is coming up next? This is what your setup would look like for each of the various tests that we would be looking at in lab. And what you're looking at here is Mr. Smith. And we're going to be adding 3 to 4 drops of Mr. Smith's blood into each well. So 3 to 4 drops in well A, 3 to 4 drops in well B, and 3 to 4 drops into the RH factor well. And specific to each well, we will be adding the antibody to see if there is a reaction. We're looking for coagulation within each of the wells. And so this here is anti-A factor. So we're going to add 2 to 3 drops of the anti-A to the A well. The reason why we're adding anti-A is because we're looking for a reaction. We're looking for coagulation. And so if there is a reaction, if there's clumping in well A, that means that the anti-A is attacking the A antigen or the agglutinogen. And so we're going to go ahead and stir that with a toothpick. We only use each end of the toothpick once. And now we're going to go ahead and take the anti-B serum, and we're going to add 2 to 3 drops of the anti-B into well B. Again, anti-B because it contains the antibodies for the B antigen. And we're going to mix this. And again, we're looking for clumping within the well. And lastly, we're going to take the RH. And so the anti-RH serum, we're going to add 2 to 3 drops. If there is the positive antigen for RH, that D antigen, then we would see a reaction within that well. We do have to let these plates sit for about 5 minutes or so. Uh, and so uh, and so here you can see the results from looking at Mr. Smith. You can see that there is coagulation and clumping in A and RH and not in B, and so this makes this A positive. And now we have Mr. Green. And so we're going to go ahead and do the same thing. We're going to add 3 to 4 drops in each well. Take the anti-A serum, and we are going to add 2 to 3 drops into well A and stir. Add 2 to 3 drops of anti-B anti-serum in well B and stir. And add 2 to 3 drops of anti-RH anti-serum into the RH well. And once again, we're going to let this sit. We're going to come back. We're going to compare this to a non-reactive, and we can see that both A and RH and B has clumped, and so that means this is AB positive. AB positive. And now for Miss Brown, we're going to add 2 to 3 drops of her blood into each well. And we're going to take anti-A once again, put it into the A well, and stir. Take 2 to 3 drops of anti-B anti-serum, add that to well B, and stir. And we're going to take anti-RH anti-serum and add 2 to 3 drops of that into the RH well and stir. And about 5 minutes go by, and we're going to take a look, comparing it to a non-reactive plate. And we can see that A has no clumping, B has no clumping, and RH has no clumping. nothing has reacted, which means we have O negative blood type. No reactions. And now, lastly, we have Mr. Jones, 2 to 3 drops of his blood into each well. And as you guessed, we're going to take some anti-A, anti-serum, and add 2 to 3 drops into well A and stir. Take 2 to 3 drops of anti-B, anti-serum, and add that into well B and stir. And anti-RH, anti-serum, and add that into the RH well. And stir. And when we compare the results of this to a non-reactive plate, we see that we only have clumping in well B. Well A and well RH are non-reactive. And so that means that this is B negative. B negative would be the blood type. Now this here is just kind of an overview of all 4 of these blood types. You'll be able to see this better in the lab with these images. And the next 2 images that are going to come up are going to be, again, the one on the left is O negative, the one on the right was AB positive, and you can see left here is A positive. And so that is the blood typing lab that I'm going to walk you through here on Canvas.